is Wave News at 3.
Last week, 2 UofL Health doctors went to Turkey, where the death toll from multiple earthquakes has topped 48,000. Now they're back in Louisville after delivering much-needed medical supplies. Here to talk about his humanitarian efforts is Dr. Mohammed Babar of UofL Health. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you, David.
One of the questions that's always been on my mind when we're looking at all those terrible pictures, I imagine they don't begin to convey the scope of what's going on there. What did you see?
The magnitude of this earthquake is mind-boggling. There are cities which look like ghost towns. There are buildings which are still standing. They have cracks on their foundations, and those buildings are empty. There were streets that you hardly see anybody. We went to one street, and they told us and pointed to a house where there was a young boy who was underneath the rubble, crying for 3 days. And they felt so helpless, and unfortunately he died in there.
As so many thousands of others have as well.
Yes.
Now, this has sort of fallen out of the headlines here, but the suffering is still ongoing.
It's quite frankly, David, I believe that the death count is a lot more than 50,000. I think there are still a lot of people who are unaccounted for. It's going to take years and years to rebuild those areas and for these folks to get back on their feet. One silver lining which I saw was the human resilience. Met people who have lost their loved ones but are still upbeat and are hopeful for a brighter future.
Do you intend to go back?
Yes, in a few months we'll come back. We are trying to set up a psychiatric clinic for mental health counseling, especially for children and youth, and hoping that with UofL Health's help we'll be able to put it together.
As you talk about your experience, are you finding that more people want to join in and help?
Yes. I have already spoken with my colleagues, and many of them, they are willing to join. One thing which people are afraid of, aftershocks, because still the region is having aftershocks. While we were there, we felt 2 aftershocks. One was 3.2 and the other was 4.3 magnitude.
And those are still substantial.
Yes, they are. And
we don't have those here in Kentucky.
Yep, we don't, and people are still sleeping in tents at night to be on the safer side.
What does everyone need right now? What is the greatest need that they have?
I think the biggest need at this point is to support them financially in the rebuild phases, because they are already over the medical traumatic needs, to support them financially and keeping them in our thoughts and prayers that they survive this tragedy of apocalypse magnitude.
What do you have to say to everyone here in the U.S. who perhaps does not see this on the news every day now? I
will just say that let's count our blessings every day. Life is fragile, and one second can topple us the upside down. And also let's make sure that we remember that we all are Homo sapiens, and we need to lend each other a hand, whether it's in Western Kentucky, in Eastern Kentucky, in Ukrainian refugees, or Turkey, or anywhere in the world.
And don't forget that there are so many of our fellow human beings in need right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Dr. Babar, thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
Thank you for
and we'll be right back.